This is prepping with Sarge. Let's see how this. I usually stream from my phone. First time I'm streaming from the home spot. We'll see how this goes. We'll see if anybody even pops in. Let's see. YouTube channel prepping with Sarge. Let's do our little intro here. We do. Thank you. See a couple people have jumped in already. And by the way, I know Silver Husky is going on at 8:30. I promise I'll have us wrapped up. In fact, if any of you see that I'm getting to like 8:25 and I'm not done, just say, "Hey, dude, Silver Husky's about to go live. I want to make sure anybody who wants to go over there can go over there. Silver Husky is a good friend." So we're going to talk a little bit about the SilverSqueeze situation, and I am definitely welcoming all opinions on this one. So if you guys are hearing me okay or can't hear me or anything, just let me know, because I usually, like I said, I usually stream from my phone. But just to kind of go ahead and get us started, nothing I talk about should be considered financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a crazy YouTuber here to entertain you. Hopefully sometimes you get a laugh out of this. Hopefully you enjoy some of my stories. Mostly I'm here to kind of teach you some preparedness skills and some survival skills. And I really enjoy interacting with the audience. So thank you so much. Thank you for coming to my first home live stream. This is an important one. We have a really important topic to talk about today. So if you're out there and you're listening, please let me know, chime in the chat so I can see who's here. And we will go ahead and get started. So I usually talk about, preparedness topics, of course, wilderness survival, foraging, gardening for food self-sufficiency. And of course, I do love to talk about financial preparedness too. So keeping in mind that nothing I say here is financial advice, you need to do your own research, your own due diligence, make your own decisions. I am going to throw this out for pros and cons of the SilverSqueeze situation, what's going on. And I tried to catch up on as many channels as I could today to see what the community, where people stood on this. Been watching some of the other channels. Last night too, I thought Silver Britches had a really good video. Austrian Stacker had a really good video. Millstacks had a really good video. There was other ones too, so if I don't mention you, I apologize, but I'm just kind of naming out a few of the ones that are sticking out in my head. I will tell you where I stand on this. I will tell you what I think is going to happen. I will tell you what I'm planning to do, but let's get a little bit further into this before we start talking about that. So I see that I've got 6 people out there. Y'all tell me who you are, because I'm not seeing any chat. Let me know who's here. Let's start by talking about what exactly is going on with this SilverSqueeze, right? So if you're here, where do you think this came from? That's the first thing, right? So where do you think this SilverSqueeze movement started from? It's from what I can tell, it came from somewhere from one of the Reddit communities, possibly Wall Street, Silver, but I really think it started before that, a few months ago, with the GameStop situation that was going on there. Now, if you guys follow me on Instagram, I do mess around with some meme stocks, right? So I do chase trends a little bit, but I want to tell you before we get too much further that you should not do that with large sums of money. If you're going to have some, chase meme stocks, my personal opinion is that I should, and again, I'll talk about this just for me personally, you have to make your own decisions about your money. If you're doing that kind of thing, you should only be doing it with money that you're willing to lose, right? So as an example, I recently was chasing the Coinbase hype. There was a lot of hype about the IPO or the direct launch on Coinbase. And I put some money in, and now I'm sitting at a loss. And I got to basically sit on it, waiting to see if it recovers, how long it takes to recover. Dogcoin Day was another one, right? There was so much hype in the Reddit community about Dogcoin Day, and that on 420, everybody was going to be buying Dogcoin at 6:30 a.m. or whatever. Well, 6:30 a.m. rolled around. Guess which bag holder was it? And I made money on Dogcoin, just to be honest. I did, because I bought a lot of it at 6 cents and 4 cents. I bought some too, so I didn't lose money on that one. But I did buy a little bit more on Dogcoin Day, and guess what? Nobody else did. It was everybody was selling. In fact, Dogcoin, and I know some people say Dogecoin. I've gotten corrected on that. But when I say Dogecoin, I have other people come back and say, no, it's Dogcoin. So whatever you want to call it, we all know what I'm talking about, right? I got, I was left holding the bag on that, right? So these, when you follow these Reddit trends, it's a risk, and you should know that. You should know that there's you could end up with being the bag holder. And that's why I'm telling you this. And I've had some that go well for me too, right? Like I've had some that win a lot of money. You can lose a lot of money, you can gain a lot of money. That's the nature of chasing, the Reddit trends and the meme stocks and things like that. And I only use money that I can afford to lose, right? So if I said I'm going to go $800 on Dogecoin, and if I lose that $800, that was money that I figured I could lose, right? Some people like to smoke, some people like to drink, some people have other vices. Some people will spend a ton of money on comic books. I like comic books too, though. But really, it's what do you do with your play money, right? I'm trying to see who's in the chat here because I don't see anybody. Nobody's chiming in. I see there's 9 people here, but nobody's talking. And it may be that I'm having a problem. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to check. Hang on one second, y'all. I'm going to try and look at it from a different device and see if I can see it. Maybe you guys are trying to talk to me. Oh, you know what? I'm not. Okay, I see all the chat now. Okay. Hang on one second. Kill the sound on that. Okay. For some reason, I'm having a problem on the laptop. Okay, so I see I've got Austrian Stacker, GRB Scott, Sarge is here, Austrian Stacker, Silver Britches, awesome, Silver Husky, good to see you guys. All right, now I know who's here. I will try to watch that. Like I said, I've never streamed from the home device before. So that's thing one. Thing two, again, if I'm speaking only to myself, make sure you're paying down your debt first, right? Because I'm a prepper before I'm a stacker. And if I was going to give anybody advice, it would be pay down your debt, build an emergency cash savings. And hey, Sean, welcome so much. Welcome to the chat. Thank you for being a first-time viewer. If I was going to make some investments in some meme stocks, that wouldn't be like the first thing I do with my money. And I wouldn't chase a Reddit trend with, money that I need for my retirement or money that, I'm going to need for an emergency. That's just not the right way to go about this. So I always tell people, pay down your debt, build an emergency cash savings, then start putting some money into, silver and gold. At least for me, I always have to have 5%. Thank you, Silver Husky. Yeah, we'd love to have some subscribers. Appreciate it. Real gains are made in the bear market. I really like to for a lot of my investments, the bulk of my money, honestly, I have silver and gold. You guys know because I talk about that. But the bulk of my money is in passive income, S&P 500 stuff that I'm building so that I've got dividends coming in for the rest of my life, right? So, and I've talked about some of these stocks in my other videos: Coca-Cola, 3M, Caterpillar. I've never made it a secret about the companies that I've invested in. If you are going to use a little bit of your play money to do something, just be aware that these Reddit trends don't always pan out the way that you think it's going to pan out. What's going to happen tomorrow? I don't know. I will tell you what I think is going to happen tomorrow, but I don't have a crystal ball. And now that I can see what your chat, I would like to see what you guys think. And then when you see me looking down, that's what I'm doing. I would like to see what you guys think about what's going to happen tomorrow. There was a push to try to do this when GameStop was blowing up. And what I saw was that the vaults, a lot of the big online retailers like Apmex, GMB, their inventory went way down. It's possible that inventory was pulled. I don't think anybody can prove that it did or it didn't, right? We're speculating that the inventory was pulled and then put back up when the price settled at a higher premium. Does this help the silver community in the long term? I want to know what you guys think. right? Like, so let's say that we inflate the price. You know, hypothetically speaking, let's say that we inflate the price to $40 an ounce, $50 an ounce, right? Because I think everybody in the community agrees that the price of silver is artificially suppressed. Nothing will happen. The market's closed. Okay. Yep. Talking about silver. Hey, digital prepper. Yeah, and it's not going to be long term. It's just not. Like, we all probably will agree that silver is artificially suppressed, and it's going to be artificially suppressed until the people who control that situation decide that it's not going to be anymore. And we can raise some awareness to this, so that may be something that comes about of this, is that people start saying, hey, you know what, silver's kind of interesting, or precious metal is kind of interesting. I can get behind that, but temporarily, that's about the best that's probably going to happen. This is just my opinion. You guys are welcome to disagree with me in the comments. 5% of the market, Austrian. Yeah, I saw your video, Austrian Stacker, and I think everybody here, please, when you're done here, you know, or when you're done with Silver Husky's live stream, please go check out Austrian Stacker's video. Right, like the amount of silver that's actually in coins and bars is really, really small compared to like the industrial uses, the medical uses and things like that. Right, there's a lot of other things that it's being used for. So we can make a dent in it, not a substantial push. At least, again, this is just my opinion. It's going to bring attention to it. Yeah, Sarge, I agree with you. I mean, I think that's one thing that could potentially come of this, is that we get more people interested in silver and gold, right? But there's also possible, hey, it's all good. Good to see you. It's what I don't want to see, and Austrian Stacker talked about this. Don't get silver from the Comex, the biggest pledge producers. Don't get, yeah. And guys like Silver Britches and Austrian Stacker, these guys are OGs. Like, they've been in it longer than me. I've been in it since 2009, but I'm going to defer to some other people in the community in terms of like long-term knowledge about how this stuff works. Here's what I'm afraid of, and this is I'm gonna 100% agree with Austrian Stacker on this one. I don't want anyone that's new to this to get on this hype the way that people got on GameStop hype, or get on the AMC movie theaters hype or Dogecoin hype, and blow $2,000 that they needed for their mortgage or their rent, thinking like, hey, this is a winner. This is a winner, because we don't know. And if you do that, you know, you're gambling with money that you can't afford to gamble with. That's what I'm afraid of. And because if that happens, right, if people get left holding the bags, we're not going to help the silver community. We're going to push people further away from precious metals. Okay, that's my fear. Announcing it as a raid date is susceptible to gouging. Yeah, I mean, there's Silver Britches. You're right, man. There's some legal issues there that I think that we probably should be careful about, right? And not just for members of the community where we have some responsibilities. We could be seen as influencers or whatever, but the dealers could take advantage of that, just like like a Reddit community can take advantage of certain situations with investments. Dealers can too, right? Much money and got conned with GameStop when they shouldn't have. Yeah, and the GameStop thing worked twice, actually. The first time was a huge win for a lot of people. I wasn't in on that first win. I was in the second one. That's kind of a freaky thing. That's not going to happen all the time. And the reason that stacking is not a sprint, it's a walk. Yeah, I'm going to get to that. Yeah, I agree. The reason that the Dogecoin Day didn't work, in my opinion, is that everybody was saying, I'm going to buy Dogecoin. I'm going to buy Dogecoin. I'm going to do it. I'm going to be there. We're going to make this thing go to the moon, right? If they really did, like if everybody who said they were going to do it on Reddit had done it, it would have gone up past 50 cents at least, maybe 60 cents. But instead it went the other direction. So what does that tell you? Like, everybody goes on Reddit and, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. and then you have no way of knowing, right? I just want people to be careful. Hey, Ty family, thanks for joining in. Appreciate it. What is Sarge going to do? I am going to make a little purchase tomorrow, right? Because again, this is for me. This is my fun money. I'm not in this to flip this. I'm not looking for silver to go to $50 or $40. I'm actually due to buy some precious metals. I haven't bought any in a while. So you know what? I'll do it for fun. It's just for me. For me, again, it's just for fun to see what happens. And if some more people get interested in precious metals because of it, that's awesome. I fully support that. I don't want to see people blow money they can't afford to spend and get burned holding bags, you know, because that's not going to be good for our community at all. What if many newbies coming to the scene can get their hands on physical silver under 40, yet spot is 20, can't get their hands on physical under 40? Yeah. You think that will cause some. Can you? I'm not sure if Sarge. I don't know if I understand that question. Can you clarify it or say it a little bit different? Um, I would like to talk if we got we got a few minutes. We can talk about the premiums versus spot thing too. Let me go back to the long term point, right? So, full disclosure, Sarge is not flipping any metals. I am holding on to my metals. I've said this in almost all of my metals videos. My plan is not to sell them until maybe when I retire, but maybe I give them to my stepdaughter. Maybe if it goes up enough, I sell some of it, but I don't really see myself ever selling all of it in one spot. So I don't view metals the same way I do Dogecoin. I don't view it the same way I do GameStop or Coinbase or any of these other ones, which I did is like, hey, I'm going to gamble a little bit, throw some money in the slot machine, see if it hits, and if it is, I'm out. Right? That's how I looked at those. I've never looked at metals this way. Regardless of what happens tomorrow, I do think some awareness has been brought to precious metals. Some people who weren't paying attention to it are now looking at it. That could be a good thing if we in the community help that situation. Why do you guys think? Why do you guys think all of you and if there's any women in the chat, I apologize. Why do you all think that so many people are hung up on this? Like, see, if you look at, let's see if I can explain this. I look at precious metals as a long-term play for me, right? I'm not looking at to make a quick profit like I do with some of the other stuff. So why do I care if silver is undervalued today? That doesn't affect me. I have no doubt that silver is going to hit its mark at some point. It's going to have its day. It's a long-term goal, yeah, like Digital Prepper said. So I don't like when there's a huge separation between premiums and spot. And I think that's one potential negative side effect of what could come of this. You know, spot, those of you who have been in this longer than me, right? Thank you, Austrian Stacker. You don't stack for retirement, it's all good. Save for retirement, have many, many years. I think PMs are precious metals are high with the premiums. Yeah. So I don't think it's good when the premiums are so high over spot as they are. And those of you who've been in this longer than me, spot to me is like that's the price of metals going to market for wholesale, right? So I've always, since 2009, when I got into this, I've always paid a few dollars more, right? I don't remember paying 20% more too often, except maybe what was it, 2011 when it spiked up, and I overpaid. I overpaid because I got into the fear of missing out and the hype and whatnot. Okay, so Sarge, he's got his question here. Bring attention to the manipulation, which bring it back to bring attention. Yeah, if newbies come and try to get some physical, trusting that spot is 26, yet they can't get it any under $40, do you think that won't cause many to go, what's wrong with this picture? I do, but I have a lot of people that are not into metals that reach out to me, and that you guys probably do too. Hey, BB88, good to see you. Bionic Bull, I would call her BB88. So I know everybody here, like we all have everybody in this chat except for maybe a couple people. We talk about metals on our channels, right? So we get questions. I get questions from the community, from people that are preppers, people who are gardeners, because I have a lot of gardeners that watch my channel. I have people who are hikers who watch my channel, and they say, "Hey, I see you talking about precious metals. What can you tell me a little bit about it?" And I say, "Yeah, this is what I do. This is why I got into it. I see it as a long-term storage against inflation. I see it as something that I put back in case of a really bad economic, fiat collapse kind of situation. That tends to get people a little panicky, so I don't go too far into that in the beginning. Um, the and they'll say, well, what's a good price? And that's where I start the conversation about what spot is, and trying to look for a price that's as close to spot as they can get. And yeah, the market is, I say, the market's a little inflated right now, so you're going to have to look for your deals. You're going to have to, and there are deals. And I explain, like, I look for sales on JMB. I talk to my local coin shop and say, hey, what do you got? That's the deal. If I buy $300 worth of precious metals, will you cut me a little price off? Constitutional silver, maybe I can get a little better deal on constitutional silver, right? So I think we still have those opportunities to have those conversations, but there's a lot of new people to precious metals who don't understand um, the difference there, right? So we, as the community, we do have some responsibility to try to explain that. Thank you so much for everybody tuning in. If you agree with me or disagree with me, but you're enjoying the conversation, you want to give me a like, I appreciate it. Prepper channels have a really hard time on YouTube because of some political stuff that I mostly try to stay away from. So anytime you guys comment or give me a thumbs up or whatever, it does help the channel out. Anyone want to pay $8 premiums on silver? No, I don't. Answer is probably no. However, anyone, yeah, Nike. I own stocks in several of those companies. Um, yeah. What's the true price, right? So that's where I think a lot of us have a different definition. What is the true price of of silver? Let's just talk about silver. Forget about gold for now. So I think gold is at a good price point, and I think most of you who are in the chat have been able to get good deals on gold in the last couple months, right? I have. So let's just talk about silver. What's the correct price for silver, right? And I mean, forget about the manipulation piece of it right now. I mean, we don't know, maybe $100 an ounce. I don't know, but like, do you think it's more closer? Should be closer to the spot price, closer to the premium price? Which one do you all think would be the correct price, right? So for me, spot price, yeah, I know it's always kind of suppressed, but I also look at it as that's probably a reflection of how much is coming out of the mines and going to market, which I think we see a lot of people in Reddit, whatever, claiming that they know how much is coming out of the mines. How do you know? How do you know? The mines probably did shut down a little bit, a lot in the past year, but I think the mines are probably mostly in full production right now, and I think there's a lot of silver coming out of the ground. And maybe that's part of the reason why it's low, right? Not just suppression. Maybe there's a ton of silver coming out right now. That's just one man's theory. You are welcome to disagree. Yeah, digital prepper. Yeah, we have a hard time on YouTube. Silver Bridges dealers, local or online buyback, $2 over for Eagles. Okay, fair price should be about 31 for Eagles. So you're saying $2 over spot from a good dealer that maybe you've got a reputation with is a good buyback price. And prior to the pandemic and everything that's gone on, I could get Eagles and things like that for maybe $3 or $4 over spot. Some of you might have been able to do better than that if you were a bulk buyer or had a really good relationship with your LCS. True prices, yeah. So Sarge, what you're saying is it's determined by supply and demand, right? So area standard silver should run about $1,500 an ounce. Yeah, I mean, maybe we're not going to see that right now. Even if tomorrow was a huge success for what the Reddit community is wanting it to be, we're still not going to see that tomorrow. $2 profit for the dealer, we all win. So the dealer gets a little, you get a fair price back, and for those of us who've been in it for at least 10 years, I did a video back there. You can find it in my playlists where I was talking about gold versus silver. I'm sorry, no, cash versus metals versus stocks. And metals actually did pretty well, better than people would think. So it does gain value. I'm talking about if we were just looking at the spot price, it does gain value over time. If I was going to sell my stack, I would be in pretty good profit shape from my average price. Um, but I've been stacking since 2009. Some of these guys in the chat have been stacking longer than that and harder than me. Like I see your full stacks, guys. I know you're stacking harder than me. All right. Let's see. Silver Britches ASCs are cheaper here in Europe than in the US. Same with Philharmonics. So that's another good way too, like for people that are new. Like, so those of us, everybody here who's got a channel, you've got some people who are new to metals who are asking you questions, and they'll ask like, well, what's a good price? What's my best price per ounce kind of thing. Constitution a lot of times is the right answer, but also like Krugerrands, you can get an ounce of silver in Krugerrands a lot of times cheaper than you could, for example, Libertads, right? Now, as a collector, stacker, you may say, well, yeah, but I like Libertads. Okay, that's fine. But the question that you're getting maybe is which one's the best price per ounce, right? Now, if they ask you which one's going to appreciate better, that's a different question. Maybe then you're talking about your collectible rounds. I don't know. I mean, I don't do those, but other people do, and I see what they go for on eBay. So maybe that's the right answer for that question. Living in the plantation of Canada, I have a curfew. Okay. I appreciate it. I know what you guys are going through in Canada. Thank you so much for joining in. We will see what happens tomorrow, my friend. We'll see what happens tomorrow and Sunday. All right, so it is 8:21. I'm gonna start to wind down because I do want you guys to get, if you were gonna go over to my buddy Silver Husky's channel, please do so. Please be careful. I think everybody here, from what I can see in the chart, you're all experienced stackers, right? I'm not worried about this, but hopefully maybe tonight some other people will see this. We'll see Austrian Stackers video. They'll see Millstacks' video. They'll see Silver Britches video, and just kind of pause. Like, don't spend your rent. Don't spend your mortgage, y'all. This is not going to work the same way that GME works. It's not going to work the same way that Dogecoin works. Metals don't work that same way. Okay, so if you're doing it because you want to have a little fun, like me, I'll buy a little, see what happens. Still not going to sell it. Even if it goes up, I'm not going to sell it. You're doing it because you want to raise some awareness to metals. Okay, but let's make sure that we turn that positive after this thing is over with. And let's hey, Bullion Addict, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate everybody, and please let's take care of the new stackers. That's mostly what I'm worried about here. I'm not worried about you guys. You all know what you're doing. I know everybody in this chat. Everybody here knows what they're doing. Okay, you all know how to spend your money. You all know how to make adult educated decisions about your money. Let's watch out for the newbies here and be careful that they don't get caught up thinking this is going to do something that it's probably not going to do. Okay. Digital Prepper, thanks so much for tuning in. You know what, y'all? I'm going to go ahead and sign us off here so everybody can take a little break, go to the bathroom, get yourself a beer, whatever you got to do. Head over to Silver Husky's channel next. I appreciate you guys. Keep planting your seeds. Keep stacking your silver. This is Prepping with Sarge. Y'all have a great weekend. All right. I don't know how to end it. There we go. Bye, guys. Thank you so much.